Okay, listen to me. Eyes up. If you are 11 or 81, this will still make sense. I am going to teach you the thing that changed the whole trajectory of my business. And it's not a fancy ad, not secret software, not a lucky break. It's a warm and semi warm outreach done 10 times a day, every day. That's it, right? Simple. I did this for months. It changed my pipeline, my bank account, and my confidence, and the way people talk about perch merch. I am here to hand you the mindset and the simple strategy so you can do it for your business too. Here's the truth, and you already know it. Cold outreach feels like knocking on a stranger's door at midnight. Warm outreach, though, feels like walking across the street to your neighbors to borrow sugar, and they hand you some banana bread too. And then semi warm lives right in the middle. You met once, you have a friend who knows a friend, you have a Facebook connection where you've liked 3 posts. You know their name just enough that if you don't act weird, you can get a conversation. And that's the game, right? And I started with my phone. I've had the same phone number for 20 some years. I never deleted a number, and I never deleted a text thread. That means my phone was my gold mine, and yours should be too. If you have a new phone, go find your old phone because you probably have all your contacts in it. I had been ignoring this gold mine because I was busy pretending I didn't know what to say, and one day, mainly out of desperation, I was like, fine, no more overthinking. And I started scrolling. Friends, past client, the guy from a charity golf scramble, a neighbor's cousin who still owes me a rake. If the name rang even the slightest bell, they went on the list. And then I just picked 10 every morning. I sent messages, and I didn't stop. The rule was simple. Be short, be human, be funny once, and ask for something tiny. That is the whole mindset. Short texts get read. Human gets replied to. Funny drops the shield, and tiny gets you a yes. Okay? People do not want your autobiography. They want a ping that sounds like you and ask for a step so small that it's so easy to take, right? That's it. 5 lines, not 50. If your message reads like a bedtime story, even your own phone will fall asleep. And then Facebook was my second gold mine. I played the long game and it worked every time. If there was someone I wanted to connect with, but I didn't want to be a nuisance, I sent a friend request. And then I liked their business page. This is where you don't be creepy, right? Sometimes it's hard not to be creepy. But I waited 30 days before I sent a DM. But during those 30 days, if I saw anything of their post or their business post, I would like them and genuinely comment on them. Because if you're a business owner, you remember everybody who comments on your post, especially if they're a regular commenter. It's like you can always rely on those people. You love those people, right? Be that person for somebody you don't even know because they're going to feel like they know you. It takes up to 12, maybe even 18 touches to get a sale. Think of every comment and like on somebody's Facebook as a touch. That's what I do. It gets you closer to the end, closer to the yes. So I wanted them to feel supported before I asked for anything. 30 days later, a DM didn't feel cold. It felt natural and it worked every time. I just did it last week to a guy with the basketball academy. And I said, hey, man, I just love what you're doing. I was like, I don't know who does your merch, but I've got some great ideas for your teams and your branding or whatever. And he said, yes. He's like, that's awesome. Let's get together on a Zoom call. And it's scheduled. Simple as that. The best way I can explain the psychology is with a house, right? Cold is in the driveway. Semi-warm is on the porch, right? Warm is in the living room. We are just trying to get invited from the porch to the kitchen for coffee. You do not do that by yelling through the window. You knock, you smile, you say one line that makes the door swing open. That's warm outreach. It's not manipulation. It is manners and timing. So let me tell you why I believe in this so much. I once met a landscaping manager at a golf scramble. He was complaining that hoodies shrink to toddler size after one wash. That day, I asked him to be my friend on Facebook. Like, I found him right then when he was standing in front of me, basically. But then 2 weeks later, I DM'd him. Random question. Who orders hoodies for your crew? Because I found one that doesn't shrink unless you wash it in lava. He gave me his boss's name, We did a 12-minute phone call, and that turned into a $5,000 order. No pitch deck, no brochure, just warm outreach with a smile and a little humor, right? Think about it, people. It's not hard. And if we have no sales, we have no shame. So don't feel like let's get into this more, okay? Because okay, the referral side is where this gets almost unfair, right? My two biggest clients in the last 6 months that have been part of my whole business changing came from me texting friends. And one was my insurance agent. She didn't buy anything from me. She was just friends with the CEO of a giant healthcare company and said, I bet he would want to talk to you. And then she did the Holy Grail. What's the Holy Grail, you ask? Well, that's a 3-way email or text intro. In this case, it was an email. When someone hits send on an intro with both of you copied, you start the race 10 feet from the finish line. And then the other one was one of my painting clients' brothers, who happened to be the head of marketing for a company in Florida. That intro plus a simple message landed us a client worth hundreds of thousands. 2 texts turned into $500,000. And it was all because I said, F it, I've got nothing to lose anymore. And yes, I bribed people. You should too. Just use adult words for it. Referral commission, finder's free, free merch, thank you, beer and wings if your company allows it. People love free things. They like feeling helpful. They like being the connector who made something happen. Pay them like you mean it. Keep it within company rules, of course, and say the quiet part out loud. If you introduce me and they order, you get something you actually want. Watch how fast introductions happen when you take that awkwardness out and make it fun. Now let's talk about the thing that scares everyone more than public speaking, ghosting, right? You will send messages and you will hear crickets. In fact, the crickets are playing tiny violins, but it's fine. Nobody died. Say that with me. Nobody died. The worst thing that'll happen in business is not that someone ignores you. The worst thing that can happen is you die. And guess what? Getting ghosted is not that. So I had a guy named Caesar, more of an acquaintance than a friend, but we knew each other fairly well. I was ignored 4 times across 2 months from this guy. And I really wanted his business because he was an owner of a large HVAC company in town. Well, month 3, I'm doing a walkthrough for my painting company, and he's the HVAC guy on site. So where do we go with this, right? So instead of being awkward, right when he walked in, I said, Caesar, you're alive. And he laughed, and then he apologized and said, man, I am so sorry. I've just been so busy. And we booked a meeting the next week. Guess what? He's now a regular client. So just don't make it awkward, right? Awkward's not going to help, but just make it funny. Make it awkward for them somehow, you know? So here's the strategy in a sentence so you never forget it, right? Start with the warmest possible person. Keep the message short. Make them smile once, right? Ask a question that they can answer in 5 words, and then follow up like a human. If they do not reply, you can lob one last thing at them and disappear for a bit. Then what I like to do is I pop back up and I just do either like a sad face emoji or a funny meme of somebody sad looking alone. I have set that just lonely little emoji and watched the typing bubble start like I had said magic words. It is incredible. The responses that I will get off of just a sad face with a tear, right? You ever got one of those? You're like, all of a sudden it makes you feel bad. So you're going to respond to that person. So what do you got to lose? They already ghosted you or ignored you 3 other straight times. So you might as well throw a Hail Mary out there. And that's probably the best Hail Mary you got. And if you can do a funny meme and make them laugh and get it at the same time, boom. So this will work, I'm telling you. But you have to make it stick, right? You have to turn it into a habit. 10 outreaches a day, every day. Sounds so simple, doesn't it? And I was just doing it in a journaling notebook, just writing them down every single day and turning pages. it starts getting a lot harder, especially once it starts working, because you get so busy working on the ones that you've done, but you can't stop, right? 10 a day. And I don't care if you're a painter, a bakery, a boutique, a plumber, a coach, or some fancy SaaS founder selling to hospitals. 10. Pull 5 from your phone and 5 from Facebook. Use your contact list. Use your old customers. Use your friends who work for companies, even if they are not the decision person. You find out who is. Use the people you've commented with online for a month. If the name rings a bell, it's fair game. You are not hunting strangers. This is not cold anymore. You are building with neighbors. Let me show you how this applies to different businesses so nobody can hide behind "I'm unique." So, if you paint houses, you say, quick question, who schedules vendor visits for your HOA? I got a spectacular deal going on paint, and I'm looking for some more work, right? If you bake things, you can say, quick thought, who picks birthday treats up for your team? I can deliver the exact number and make it look like your brand. Because think about that. You have to think outside the box. Like I said, if you're a bakery, businesses are always getting desserts for their employees. Why don't you try to sell them on it once a week or twice a month type thing? If you're a boutique, a florist, or a coach, the principle is the same. Short, human, funny once, tiny ask, right? If you're nervous about writing, borrow a brain. Open ChatGPT, right? We talked about this a couple episodes ago, and you use it like your writing buddy, not a robot, right? Say, write 3 short, warm outreach messages for a bakery to a local office manager. Keep it under 20 words. Keep it dry humor. End with a question, and then pick the one that sounds like you. Swap in real names and press send. Say, rewrite this line like a friendly small town business owner and keep it under 5 sentences. Say, give me a version for a painter, a boutique, and an HVAC shop, and a coach. This is how you use AI without losing your own voice. Here's a system that helped me stay honest. I keep a whiteboard called 28 open. It is a live count of conversations that could turn into money. So basically, people that responded to the warm outreach with something positive, right? So if your name is on the board and there is no next step, I either follow up or erase it. Erasing hurts unless I'm erasing it because I got the sale. When I started doing 10 semi-warm outreaches every day, the board filled up. And then those names started turning into meetings, and those meetings turned into orders. I would have not gotten those orders any other way. Momentum is noisy. You will hear it when you have it. Let's deal with the fear so that you actually take action, right? Rejection is not fatal. We talked about this. A no from a friend does not eject you from the friend group. Ghosting is not a verdict on your character. It is usually a verdict on their calendar. People are busy. Your message is one bubble in a sea of bubbles. Don't tell me you haven't done it. You didn't mean to ignore somebody. It just happened. Your job is to be the bubble that sounds like a human, though. So add one tiny piece of value and ask a question that is super easy to answer. If you can do that 10 times a day, you will not recognize your pipeline 60 days from now. And I promise you that. So here's your challenge. Today, scroll your phone until you hit 5 names that make you think, oh yeah, I know them. Send 5 messages. Then hop on Facebook, send 2 friend requests you probably should have sent last year of that person that you know would be a wonderful client. And you know who those people are. You just got to find a way to connect with them. We'll do it. And then like their page and leave 3 normal comments. Do not sell, right? Be a person. And then tomorrow, you're going to send 5 more messages and DM the 2 you added last month. Layer in 1 thank you offer for a friend who makes an introduction. It can be a referral commission, a gift card. You can send them a $25 digital Starbucks gift card if you want, or free merch. That's what I do. If your company makes that, which I can make that for you, handing out free merch to somebody makes them feel special. Then they're wearing your brand around. So that's 2 for 1. Just throwing that out there. Hit me up. Okay. Anyway, so make it fun, right? Make it clear and watch what happens, people. If you feel your courage slipping, borrow mine for a minute. I have been ignored. I have been told no. I've been left on red so long the screen burned in. Nobody died. The worst thing that happened was I earned a better way to ask and I moved on. The best thing that happened was 2 texts that turned into $500,000 in clients in 6 months. That is not because I am special. That is because I finally acted like a person. I finally acted like the person I actually am, a real human who likes to help people look good. And I asked other humans to help me out do that. If your business needs to look like it has its act together, that is what we do at Perch Merch, right? If you got value today, subscribe. Send this to the business owner who needs a push. Even better if you have a friend who's a business owner who can do this with you and hold each other accountable to do the 10 a day. Because I've been doing that still with people from this channel, which is spectacular. If you do it for 30 days, your future self is going to want to hug you, and they will be wearing a very comfortable hoodie that did not shrink in the wash. With that, I'm out.